I'm in the middle of a blizzard and I thought, why not record another video for my Lord of the Rings read-through here. The chapter that I just finished is called Treebeard, which is one of the longest, if not the longest chapter in all of Lord of the Rings. It is 2 to 3 times longer than most other chapters in this whole series, and it's kind of a brick wall in the Two Towers. I would say all 3 of the Lord of the Rings books have a section that is difficult for new readers to get through, very slow, and that's what this chapter is for this book. I'm pretty happy to get it out of the way because I really don't enjoy this chapter. Now, the one thing it has going for it is that it does feel like a big epic story all by itself. Basically, Merry and Pippin are fleeing from their captors. They go into Fangorn Forest, which is notorious for being dangerous to outsiders. And they bump into this giant living tree man named Treebeard. He's an Ent, which is this ancient race of tree creatures, and he eventually gets really pissed off at the fact that Saruman is destroying Fangorn Forest for his war machine, and he and the other Ents decide to march off into war and fight Saruman, which is a pretty epic way to close the chapter out. But it's not the end of the chapter that bothers me, it's what happens before the, I guess, climax of this chapter, which is Treebeard lore dumping and exposition dumping on these poor hobbits for an interminably, excessively long amount of time. If you're really into the Tolkien lore and all the backstory, then you will love this chapter, but if you care about like the dramatic stakes and the tension and the pacing, then this chapter is going to feel like such a tangled weed web to get through. Basically, one of my issues with this chapter is that the hobbits seem content to just sit like bumps on a log and have Treebeard talk at them for multiple days in a row. Despite the fact that they've been separated from the Fellowship, they clearly want to help Frodo and Sam, or they used to want to. So, do they want to get back to the Fellowship? Like, what are they thinking? And Tolkien doesn't see fit to show us what's going on in their heads at all. So, I really don't like how little agency Merry and Pippin have here. But Gandalf will say in a later chapter that they're like these 2 small pebbles that start an avalanche rolling, and that's because like their one little question about like, hey, who's Saruman, is what leads the Ents to like getting worked up into this fury and going off to fight them. Now in the movie, Treebeard doesn't know that the forest has been decimated. He's been asleep for centuries, and sometimes do. So when he discovers that the forest is destroyed, we, the audience, discover it along with him, and the hobbits have kind of manipulated him into discovering it. So it feels a lot more cohesive in my mind, but in any case, I like how this chapter ends with the epic march to Isengard, but for the most part, I'm not a fan of this chapter.